is our Tuesday night live broadcast, and we come to you live every single Tuesday night, as well as uploading weight loss tips all throughout the week. If you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure to do that. Hit the thumbs up button if you hear anything that you like on this video, and ring the bell. That way you get notified when we are live. Anyway, welcome back. So tonight we are going to be talking about the 6 tips for losing weight while traveling. This is by far one of the biggest questions that I get working with clients from around the world is, Carmen, okay, great. You lost 161 pounds in 13 months. You've maintained it. Like, what do you do when you travel? Like, how do you do that? And my husband and I, we probably travel 6 to 12 weeks a year. And so this was a big piece that I had to figure out to be able to lose the weight and then be able to maintain it. Have you ever lost weight? And then you're like, sayonara 5 pounds, sayonara 10 pounds. And then all of a sudden you go find it again. You're like, I lost that sucker. And then it comes knocking back on your door and you're like, what the frick? I thought I got rid of you. And in my case, whenever it found me again, it always brought a couple friends. I would lose 5, gain 7. And so anyway, tonight we're going to talk about 6 key things to keep losing weight while you're traveling, while you're on vacation, while you're on a road trip, while you're on a business trip, whatever it is. For the past 3 weeks, my family has been road tripping. We've had a business seminar. We've been staying with friends. And here's what I will tell you. If you do not plan to succeed, it is an automatic plan to fail. And most people never think about that. Most people never think about the fact of, hey, I'm going to be losing weight. I need to put some planning into this. Hey, I'm going to be losing weight. If I don't plan to succeed, then I'm going to fail. This was certainly something that I never thought of. In fact, I was a weight loss failure for more than a decade. And I really thought that someday I would just wake up and magically get the, oomph, the gumption to go be skinny. And that's just never how it worked out. It wasn't until I started preparing to lose the weight. It wasn't until I started setting myself up for success that I actually started to succeed with weight loss. And so let's go ahead and jump right into these 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I took Spanish in high school, 2 years of it. I hardly remember any of it. We had to write in Spanish. We had to talk in Spanish. It's one of those things, if you don't use it, you lose it. Yeah, I've lost 90% of it. I think I can count to 10. I can say los pantalones. Those are pants. El gato. That's cat. Margarita. That's Spanish. Anyway, all right. Number 1 is having a success stash. Having a success stash. And we've actually done a video that I will link. We've actually done a video where we talked about what is a success stash, all right? But a success stash is a little tiny stash that is setting yourself up for success. And so in the video that we did on it, we go into a little bit more in depth, but I'm just going to touch on it here. So a success stash is a stash of food that is designed to help you have success in your weight loss. And so a lot of times mine will consist of a piece of fruit, a protein bar, rice cakes, carrot sticks, cucumbers, anything that I can look at and say, okay, this food is going to help me stay on track with my goals. When we made a 16-and-a-half-hour road trip a couple weeks ago from Georgia to Texas, with 3 kids, a dog, my mom, and my husband. I had the kids' snacks packed, and then I also had my snacks packed. Why? Because if you do not have a success stash, if you don't have a stash of food while you're traveling in a car, in an airport, at friends' houses, then if you don't have fast food that you can grab on the fly while you're busy, while you're driving, while you're flying, when you're in the airport, look, the airport, the gas stations, they are filled to the brim with yummy, scrumptious, tempting food. That 99% of it is not on your plan. It's not on your plan to help you lose weight. It will not help you lose weight. It's loaded with sugar. It's loaded with carbs. It's loaded with all kinds of nasty stuff. And I'm not knocking that stuff. I'm fully an 80-20 girl. And I believe that weight loss is really about living and enjoying all those foods. But if you're not careful and if you don't plan, then what happens is you're enjoying them more than you planned to enjoy them, if that makes sense. And so having a success stash, making sure you have prepared for success when it comes to your food is going to help you succeed in the area of weight loss while you're traveling. And that's even the case like here when I'm at my girlfriend's house. Like I have foods in my room. I have in the fridge, I have carrots, I have cucumbers, I have rice cakes, I have protein bars. And so if I get hungry, I can grab those things. When I'm running out and about and I'm running errands, we had to drive a little over an hour to a conference this last weekend. And I made sure when I left the house, I grabbed an apple and just threw it in my purse. I grabbed a bottle of water. Why? Because if you're planning for success, whatever you plan for is what you will typically achieve. And so having a success stash is really a huge part of that when it comes to your success, especially traveling. Because it seems like at the airport, the gas stations, look, when they set up the airport, one of their biggest revenue makers is renting out the space inside the airport. And so it's like full of temptations. When you go to the gas station, they don't make their money off the gas. They make their money off of all the aisles of candy bars and chips and donuts and, whatever. Number 2, plan what you are going to eat. All right. Now, I got to tell you, I fought this one for a very long time. Being a former morbidly obese woman, I was like, wait a minute. Like, you want me to go on vacation and plan what I'm going to eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. That doesn't sound sexy. Like, I would see these people, when I was 288 pounds, I would see these people lugging through the airport with their little coolers and all their pre-measured foods. And I so harshly judged them because I was like, oh, come on. Like, just go to Chick-fil-A already. Get yourself a sandwich and some waffle fries. Go to dinner, whatever. But here's what I will tell you. And I still do go to Chick-fil-A and I still do go to all those places, but not all the time. And so when you have got to plan your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and your snacks, because if you don't plan, so many times when I'm working with clients, and this again includes vacation and traveling. So we were just at a hotel for the entire weekend. And while we were at the hotel, I had lunch meat in the fridge. I had carrots. I had cucumbers. I had all those things in the fridge. I had planned out what I was going to eat at the event. I knew for breakfast what I was going to have, for lunch, for dinner, and what I was going to have for snacks. And when you already know what you're going to be eating, you're less tempted to make bad decisions. You're less tempted to go off track when you've already made a psychological commitment. Most of your decisions are made, all of your decisions are made in your head, but when you make a decision ahead of time and you commit in your mind, psychologically, you are really lowering the odds that you're going to go off track. And so even though we were at this event and this particular hotel had a concierge lounge or a club lounge, and inside the club lounge every night they have so for breakfast, they have a full-on breakfast, eggs, bacon, sausage, all the pastries, all the muffins, all the bagels. Then around lunchtime, they put out trail mix and dried fruit. The trail mix with the yogurt pretzels and the M&Ms and all the dried fruit. Well, dried fruit, even though it's marketed as being a health food, it's really not a health food at all. It's filled with sugar and calories, and so are nuts. And at night, they have hors d'oeuvres in this lounge. And then at 9:30 at night, 7 o'clock at night until 10, 7 to 10, they just bring in 5 or 6 different desserts into the lounge. And if you have upgraded to have access to this lounge, you can have as many as you want. And brownies, lemon bars, pecan pie bars, big giant soft hot cookies. And so if I did not have a plan to succeed, and I wouldn't have already planned out what I was eating, it would have been and did I mention that here was the door for the lounge? My room was right next door to it. It would have been so easy just to beep up over into the room. I didn't have to take the elevator. I didn't have to walk down the hall. I could just it's like going down the hall in your house into the next room. And so if I didn't have a plan to succeed, and I hadn't already committed to the plan and packed the food for the plan and shopped for the plan and knew that this was my plan, I would have went off plan. I would have come home 8 pounds heavier after 4 days of eating that stuff. And look, it's not about never having it. It's about planning when you're going to, which we're going to talk about here in a second. So number 3, what do you have access to? So when you're traveling, it's really important to figure out, what do you have access to? Do you have access to a refrigerator? Do you have access to a kitchen? Do you have access to a microwave? Do you have access to plates, silverware? Like, what do you have access to? And so, for instance, like when we're traveling to friends' houses, depending on where we're going, if we're staying with family, I know what I have access to. I know if I have access to a kitchen, a fridge, like before we go like on a business trip, I will call or if my family's staying at a hotel, I'll call the hotel and say, hey, do you guys have refrigerators in the room? And most do nowadays. And like if you stay at like a Homewood Suites or an Embassy Suites, a lot of them have like a mini kitchenette, and a big fridge, which is kind of nice. But you can ask, hey, do you have a refrigerator? And if they don't have a refrigerator, sometimes they will provide them for free or for a small charge. A lot of hotels also have microwaves that they will provide for a small fee or free just by requesting it. And so it's seeing, are you going to be able, because that's going to help you plan. Like if I know, like this last weekend, I only had access to a refrigerator. So I knew, okay, I'm not going to be able to heat anything up. I can't cook anything. So that helped me plan what I was going to eat, knowing that I wasn't going to be able to cook. Does that make sense? And so, and look, I want to give you an example for this. So often people are like, well, Carmen, that just doesn't sound like none of this sounds like any fun. But here's what I will tell you. The more you deviate from this, the less you plan and the more you wing it. When you wing it, you are relying on your previous habits because that's what you default to. When you don't have a plan, you default automatically to your previous habits. All of our previous habits have gotten us to where we are. My previous habits were morbidly obese habits. How do you know what your habits are? What is the size of what does the scale tell you? What is the size on the back of your pants? Well, I was a size 22, 288 pounds, morbidly obese. So that tells you that my habits were morbidly obese habits. So if I just wing it and try to make good decisions, by default, I'm going to go to what I'm used to. All right. And what I was used to was morbidly obese habits. And so to create new habits, you've got to be intentional about that. So intentionally means planning. And I know that planning, especially for some of us on vacations, isn't the funnest thing. Like it's so much more fun just to be like, what are we in the mood for tonight? Mexican, Chinese, let's do both with cheesecake at the end. But look, if you want to lose weight and you're serious about getting healthy and you're serious this year about hitting that New Year's resolution and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired and you're sick and tired of every single year going around this mountain and you're sick and tired of constantly being on a diet, then to get a change, you've got to start making some changes. And it doesn't mean you completely deprive yourself, but you're setting yourself up for success versus doing nothing and hoping. There's a difference between setting yourself up for success and hoping for success. All right. And the more you don't plan, so imagine on your GPS, all right, when you punch in the coordinates to your GPS, most of us like point A to point B. You start at point A and you're punching in the coordinates to point B. The GPS is going to tell you the fastest way to get there or the way with the least amount of miles. So either the fastest or the shortest. Nowhere in that GPS are we going to set it to take me the long way. Give me all the detours. Give me all the construction. Give me all the things that frustrate me. All right? And so when I started losing weight, like when I got serious about this thing 6 years ago, it was like, I want to take the shortest route to where I'm at and where I want to go. I don't want a lot of detours. I don't want to come to a screeching halt on my weight loss journey and get frustrated. Because when you get frustrated and you're losing weight, it causes you to quit. So I wanted to try to bypass all the detours. I wanted to try to bypass all the frustrations. And I wanted the straightest, quickest line from point A to point B on this thing called weight loss. And that included being semi-good while I was traveling, being semi-good when we were visiting family. And if you're somebody who's like, well, Carmen, I never travel, it's still good to use the skill because you never know where life might take you. And if you don't practice all these life skills when it comes to weight loss, you'll never learn how to maintain it. You'll stay on the roller coaster where you lose it and gain it, lose it and gain it, lose it and gain it. Outgrow your clothes, lose weight to get back in them. Outgrow your clothes, lose weight to get back in them versus just staying in them, right? Isn't that, it sounds easier. All right, number four, find the nearest grocery store. Find the nearest grocery store. When you are traveling, all right, either find the nearest grocery store that you're going to go to or that will deliver food to you. This is a huge one. Whenever we're traveling, like I knew that the hotel we were going to be at, there was a grocery store a half a mile away. Like I knew I could walk to a grocery store a half a mile away, or I could Uber to a grocery store 2 miles away. I knew there was a Walmart just a couple miles up the road. Why? Because I went to Google Maps, I typed in the hotel, and then I hit the button that says nearby. There's like a nearby button, and then you can select supermarkets, and it will list all the supermarkets and how far they are from you. And almost any big city now has Uber and Lyft, and some of them are in walking distance. The only bad part about walking is if you're going to get like a case of water, that's quite a pain in the rear to carry. So even sometimes if it's in walking distance, I'll walk there and then Uber back if we're flying somewhere and I don't have a vehicle. And this is the same thing, like no matter where we travel, no matter where we go, I know where the closest grocery store is. Why? Because as soon as we get to the hotel and we get checked in, the next thing I'm going to do is go to the grocery store. The very next thing. Because if I don't go to the grocery store, I'm not going to be able to set myself up for success with what I'm putting in my mouth. And if I get too hungry, aka hangry, then I'm going to start making bad decisions. And so I go to the grocery store, I get up to the room, unpack, go to the grocery store. My husband knows this. And I have a list that I go to the grocery store with. And typically what I'm buying are things like lunch meat, rice cakes. I don't get peanut butter because peanut butter is dangerous with me. Like no joke. I have a very special talent. I can eat a whole jar of peanut butter in one sitting. I know it's like my, losing weight, maintaining it. I have gotten a handle on most things. Most things don't tempt me. I can say no to them. Peanut butter is like, Superman had his kryptonite. Like peanut butter is my kryptonite. It is like horrible. So I would never buy peanut butter at a hotel and leave it in my room. Why? Because it can be in a friend's pantry and I won't touch it. But if it's mine in my room and no one else is going to eat it, I will all of it. And so, but rice cakes are really delicious. Any chopped up veggies are really, really simple, like carrot sticks, cucumbers, and a knife. And then you can get those little serving size containers of like the Dannon Oikos Greek yogurt. Put some ranch seasoning in that, stir it up, veggies and ranch dip, some pickles, and some lunch meat. You can get some of the low calorie Nature's Own bread. Like all those things are really delicious. Protein bars. I always I drink a protein shake every day that kind of helps curb my cravings and it helps keep me full. The days I drink it, I have way less cravings than the days I don't. So I typically start my day with that. And these are the things I will go to the grocery store and get. Like at this point, I've been doing it for long enough. I kind of have my staples and that's what I go and that's what I get. Once in a while, we'll get a bag of veggie chips or we will get a bag of like the Ritz baked whatevers, or we'll get some of those Lenny and Larry's cookies. They have these little tiny Slim Jims that are like 40 calories. Those are really good. But those are pretty much the things I get when I go to the grocery store when we're traveling at a hotel. Number 5, have a pre-game meeting with your friends and family. You're like, wait, what? A pre-game meeting? Yes. And this is, so last week on our live call, we talked about weight loss bullies. and what that is. And weight loss bullying is a real thing. Food bullying is a real thing. And this is where those people are like, oh, come on, can't you just eat a blah, blah, blah? Or you're not gonna eat this like the rest of us, or you're not gonna have a piece of pizza. And what I have found, especially with some parts of my family, my husband being one of them, is they will bully me when it comes to food and weight loss. And they don't mean anything by it. Like, they're not necessarily trying to be jerks, but they're just like, come on, Carmen, like, oh. And so I can remember certain times during my weight loss when, like, especially when we go to visit my brother's twin. He has a twin brother, and their most favorite thing to do together is to cook. Like, the most amazing food. My brother-in-law is an amazing cook, and he does, he likes to make chefy stuff, and he's really good at it, and he does a great job cooking on the grill, and like, so they plan out what we're gonna make, right? And so, like, when I was losing weight, like, sometimes I was like, gosh, we're going there for 4 days. Like, I have this goal. Like, I don't want to just totally go off track. Like, I want to stay on track. And so I would say to my husband, I'd say, hey, babe, you know, like, I know we're going to visit family this weekend, but I really have a goal, and I need to be serious this weekend. So I'm going to bring some cucumbers. I'm going to bring some protein bars. That night when you guys cook ribs, I'm going to have chicken breast. And it's not that I don't want the ribs. It's not that I don't want the 2 times stuffed baked potatoes that my sister-in-law makes. It's that I have a goal. And me setting a good example for our kids on how to honor commitment and how to stay true to what I said I was going to do is more important than me shoving some delicious, amazing ribs down my pie hole and pooping them out tomorrow. Because whatever I eat tonight is going to be caca in the toilet tomorrow. And so I would tell my husband, look, if I make this good decision, please don't badger me. Please don't say, oh, come on, babe, you're not going to have a rib. Like, come on. Like, if anybody else picks on me, please, like, be in my corner with me. Be supportive. Don't bully me into what I'm not going to eat. And so having that conversation ahead of time really helped. So if anybody else were to say anything like, oh, how's your chicken? Or you're having chicken? Then he would say, yeah, she's got this goal she's aiming towards. And it would just be so much easier. I created somebody in my corner versus somebody bullying me into eating something else. Does that make sense? And you can have this talk with your kids. Like, I can remember having the talk with my kids of, hey, but guys, when they were little, they used to love pizza buffets. Pizza buffets are awesome. It's not like the best quality pizza, but it's like you can get some of everything. Like, I can remember when my kids were little saying, hey guys, mommy's gonna take you to the pizza buffet tonight, but mommy's not gonna have any. So I want you guys to enjoy. I will help you. We're gonna spend time together, but mommy's gonna choose not to have pizza tonight. So just having that game plan ahead of time of, hey, I want you to enjoy. I'm taking you there for a blessing, but I'm going to choose not to eat 2,000 calories for dinner tonight. Now, there's certainly times that I do go with them and eat all of the pizza, but there's definitely times that I don't. And so having those pre-game talks with your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your husband, your wife, your kids helps set you up for success. And it helps frame their mind for what you're doing versus them feeling like you're just not participating. Last but not least, number 6 is, and let me just say this, like, my family was used to my old morbidly obese decisions. And so, like, they were used to me fully indulging. They were used to me coming to get-togethers and eating it all. They were used to all of that stuff. And so the new Carmen, when I started having health goals and making different decisions, they weren't used to that. They were used to me eating all of it, seconds, and dessert. So when I start making different decisions, understand they didn't change. I changed. So I can't get mad at them if they react a little weird to me changing. Does that make sense? And so that's why the pregame helps so freaking much. Number 6, planning cheats. I am certainly not telling you to go on vacation and have no cheats. I am not telling you to go to a family get together or even a business conference. Like, we were at this business conference next to this concierge lounge. I certainly planned 2 nights where I went into that lounge, that concierge lounge, and I allowed myself 2 pieces of dessert on 2 different nights. So there was certainly times where I was like, okay, but it was according to a plan. It wasn't according to my feelings. I planned out when I was gonna cheat. Now, for those of you that are like, yeah, but Carmen, that doesn't sound like any fun. here's what I'm gonna tell you. Something's gotta suck. And what's fun is walking into the store, buying in the regular department instead of the plus size. What's fun was getting dressed today and not shimmying myself into Spanx. What's fun is being able to walk confidently on a beach in a bikini. That's fun. That is like so much more fun than any cheat meal you could ever freaking hand me. But it's planning your cheats, looking at your vacation, saying, okay, I'm gonna be here for a week. What nights am I gonna go out and just say, woo, give me the margarita, give me the cheesecake, give me the chicken wing. What nights am I gonna do that? And all the rest of the times, staying on plan, staying on track. It's not about completely depriving yourself. On one of my Instagram stories. By the way, if you're on Instagram, I would love to connect. I'm over there. It's under Carmen O'Quinn. I would love to connect with you if you're over there on Instagram. But it was like, I had posted that they had these all the stuffed Oreos. And someone messaged me and said, I thought you didn't eat that stuff. And it was like, no, I definitely eat that stuff. Just not every day. It's planned. And so if you were to even, all these 6 things we talked about, if you were to even take one of them, and start using it, you would see instant results. If you took 2 of them and started using them when you're traveling, more results. The more of them you implement, the more success you're gonna see. At the end of the day, if you wanna see change in your body, you've gotta make some changes with what you're doing. And so anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you have not given the video a thumbs up, give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you have not rang the bell, ring the freaking bell. We give actual weight loss tips here every single week that work. They are proven not only to help me lose 161 pounds, but that have helped our clients lose, I don't even know how much weight, like tens of thousands of pounds. And so anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. We will see you on the next video.